Hey there, YouTube friends, Masked Bandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. We're going to try this again. This is like the 4th time I've tried to start this video, and every time volumes are too high, volumes are too low, telephone rings, voicemail left, all these things. It's killing me. So, yeah, what a great way to start a video here. We are actually going today to start actually building the mountain and putting all these fantastic pieces somewhere on this giant mountain. Just so you all know, I'm recording this, or I'm doing the voiceover here, well after most of the village is already ready to go. I just kind of sat down and played, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going, because I knew I had some footage from before that I could use for a video, and that's what the last one was, the fudge shop. So, as I sit right here recording this, most of the village is done. So you're going to see the progression here in the next, I think, 3? I think we're going to have about 3 more episodes like this, and then we'll have the final video. That's kind of how it's shaping up. But anyway, the first thing we had to do here, in order to get really cooking, I wanted to go ahead and establish the train station, the train. We'll look at this in one of our real-time portions. Actually, not today. I don't know why, but we're not going to look at it today. This is a train station by Redline, a member of BroNation who was in our summer competition. That's kind of how I got to know him a little bit better. And he made for us a fantastic train station. Just beautiful. You'll notice it's not actually a train station, though. It is, it's just a piece of track. And when he sent it to me, he had it so there was a stop. He put in like a stop track so it would stop at that station for like 15 seconds. Except something went bonkers when it went through the blueprint process. And when I placed it down, you'll notice it would always stop right before the station. Probably my fault, but no matter what I did, I couldn't really get the piece of track that I wanted to stop. So rather than fiddle with that for so long, I just decided to say forget it, and I will move the entire station. So that's what you're seeing me do here. You will also notice that the train does not, it has a station, but it's in the mountain. We're hiding it. I wanted this to really look like a model train. I wanted it to feel like a model train set on a table or set on like a ridge, and I figured it would look really cool to go in and out of the mountain through tunnels. And I'm actually going to later on in another episode use tunnels that are very similar to what we use for the toboggan. In fact, they're the exact same thing, they're just a little bit bigger to account for the larger train. So this kind of had to be the first thing to get put in so that we could flesh out the rest of the village, because until the train station's in, I didn't really know how things were going to get set up. And you'll see there's going to be a lot of changing of my mind, back and forth. So, but the nice thing about this train station is it offered some really interesting perspectives, some really interesting views. And it gave me chunks of areas to set up where I could pick buildings that kind of, I thought, went well together. So like this area here has our deco and some of our more modern looking pieces, as opposed to some of the things we looked last time that felt more like Charles Dickensy in their style. So that's kind of what the train was a good way to get started here, put the train down and kind of figure out what I wanted to go where. This, whatchamacallit, the old diner, which we'll look at again later. Man, I had a hard time finding a place for that, actually. This beautiful building, this ski lodge, that was easy to find a pile. I was like, well, clearly that's going to go on top of the mountain. It's a ski lodge. It also came with a ski lift, but it was too big. Now, here's my great plan. By the time this video comes out, the rides pack will have dropped, and I'll have it. And I think I might try, and they just released today, chairlifts, so I'm excited for that. So I might try and incorporate the chairlift, the new in-game chairlift, maybe to make it look like a ski slope, to make it look like a ski lift. That'd be kind of cool, I think. So decided here that we were going to add some path to hug the train. I thought that would be a really nice look. And again, I'm trying to think about how it would look like if it were a real Christmas village. And if you see these large tiered Christmas villages, you would see like each tier would have a road in front and then a row of houses behind it, and then another tier. And that's how they build. I wanted to do something like that, and so that's why it is the way it is. And all the buildings are facing one direction. or mostly one direction. That little pond there was a neat idea I thought about having, This building is one we're going to look at today. This is by Mineral, and it's a fishmonger, so I thought put a little lake there. We had a couple buildings that kind of felt like they could have gone by some water, but unfortunately that will not stick around. I don't even know if it makes it to the end of this episode. Now, check this piece out. Silent Member, another member of BroNation, decided to make some model rides for us. And it's incredible what he was able to do. He took the mouse coaster, same coaster we're using as our toboggan, and he built and themed it to look like a model coaster. I mean, we kind of had to, didn't we? We kind of had to have a coaster, and I thought it'd be super cute to have it be front and center like that. So it is kind of the main focal point of the village, because I figured that was perfect for BroNation, right? I mean, to have a roller coaster be the focal point of your virtual village built in a roller coaster game. I mean, come on. He also, late in another episode, will give us some more rides, and we'll actually plop down one functioning in-game ride, that vintage loopy ride. I don't remember what it's called. So had a hard time finding a place for the ski, for the skating rink too, which we eventually find a place for. And we looked at in a previous episode. So my brewery works quite well over here, I think. I'm finding that most of my buildings are kind of off to the side because they are actually a little bit bigger than most of the others. And so they do better kind of away and on lower tiers. So that's what I was kind of doing. The bigger buildings kind of went off on their own little sides there, and the smaller buildings are kind of what take center stage. And I wanted everyone else's buildings to take center stage here. So yeah, there's a few of mine sprinkled in, but it's so cool that so much of this is from you guys, and that's fantastic. And it just completely blows me away how awesome everyone was for this. And I'm going to keep saying it every episode. I don't care. So another thing Silent Member made for us were these little bumper cars, and they have such a cute little name, but I can't remember it for the life of me. Let me see if I can find it for you. The name of those bumper cars, they are the Holly Jolly Bumper Thumpers. The Holly Jolly Bumper Thumpers. So this little area here with the little with the coaster and the rides and all that, it sat there for a long time with me being unsatisfied. I was really unhappy with how it looked, and I just kind of kept putting it off, and eventually I find a way to make it work. It's the most open area for sure. So this grocery building blows me away. We'll look at it in another episode up close. This is by Uakins, who makes one of the buildings we look at in our real-time portion today. So yeah, it's kind of weird watching this on time-lapse. It's just me placing things down, but at the same time it's kind of neat because it's I guess it's a study in layout and all that. So, which is one of my kind of struggles. Sometimes I struggle a bit with layouts, but it really does feel like I'm playing Christmas, like I'm building a giant Christmas village. It's really, really fun. So we also have here just plopped down a really cool stage, and it's fantastic. I think it's going to be a kind of like for parades or something. You know how that would be, like, you know, the grandstands of a parade. I think it was meant more as like a candlelight service or something, but I think for me it looks better in an actual plaza. Maybe that's what his intention always was, but here we go, still trying to find a place for the diner. I think that might be its final resting place next to the fudge shop. We ended up moving the barber shop quite a few times as well. It's one of those larger buildings, a bit on the larger side. It actually goes better with my buildings. It actually is closer to my scale than some of the other people's, and more power to them for being able to do that. So really, really happy with how well they did with the scale. They did it better than I did. Here's that little the nativity scene we looked at in the previous episode, and I'm putting it smack dab on the bobsled course because I think it's funny there. I think it fits in real nice there on the side of the cliff, and yeah, I'm gonna leave the DeLorean in there. I think that's just fine. So it's at about this point when I'm realizing, oh man, I'm gonna have to do something with all these awful terrain shelves here. It looks a little silly to have them all carved like that, so don't worry if you're like, that looks kind of bad. I know. I know, and I have a plan. And it won't look so bad for forever, I promise. You might notice that, like, those are some really steep, like, paths and stuff. And again, I know, but we're going to go more for the village look. And it is what it is, a kind of a thing, if we want people to walk on it, which I do eventually open it up to people. we go ahead and we have some really steep paths, but that's okay. So there's the sugar shack. We looked at that a few episodes ago, or last episode, I think. I think I cover up the little base for the tree. If I don't, I need to go back in and do that, because I definitely need to. Threw a couple more deciduous trees around to kind of give the idea that there's a couple maple trees up there. I mean, I don't want to do a whole forest. That would be a little ridiculous, but you know. Trying real hard to make sure that my trees don't too terribly cover everything. So yeah, and then it's time to start hooking stuff up. I start using the backs of the buildings as ways to get people in and out. The downside is, unlike rides and stuff, terrain definitely affects paths, and paths cannot go where terrain is. Same thing as with ride stations. So that meant carving huge chunks of land out in order to get underground. But covering back up wasn't so bad. I thought it was going to be a really big issue. And then I don't really care what the paths look like underground. I'm hopeful most people aren't going to look at them. And if you do, just know that when you download it, if you go look under the mountain, it's not meant to look nice. It's meant to be functional. Everything on the outside of the mountain is supposed to look nice. So here we are, covering up using some snow. And then I go back in with terrain paint and paint it the all white, so you can't really see how steep it is. That's one of the nice things about this biome, is you just paint everything with snow, and then you can't really tell how steep or shallow something is until it's too late. Here we go again with the having to cover things up. So hey, but it is what it is, and I think it's just dandy. So my volume is really loud all of a sudden, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit for everyone. So yeah, we're just trying to connect. It was at this point I realized I need to connect up all these paths somehow, and I kind of need to make them not look like hot garbage. So that was kind of what I was going for, not hot garbage. There goes the pond. That was a good idea at first, but not gonna happen. So making sure that our train here is doing its job. And if you caught the live stream in, I think last week's live stream, we went ahead and did some crossings for the train tracks and did some other little things. So Mike's house finally gets a home. I had really nowhere to put this. This was, go figure, of all the things that really don't have anything else like them, it's Mike's little house. I got nothing. I had no other building even looked close to it, so I figured it would look best kind of on its own up on the hill. That's kind of what I did for the buildings that didn't have anywhere to really go. So we have our little skating rink here. I figured we'll just extend it. I'm not actually sure if it stays there. No, I think it does. Yeah, it does. Okay, so at this point, I'm starting to feel pretty good about things. I'm starting to feel good about where everything is placed. I didn't want to get into too many details until I knew for sure what I wanted. And for these buildings up here, I'm not going to try and get paths up to them. That would just be ridiculous. It just wouldn't work. So adding some more paths around to make sure that all the buildings look like they're accessible, which is actually going to help in a future episode, because I'm going to go in another episode and add shops to all of these, and just to lure people down, because if I didn't have anything for them to do in the actual village, they would probably all stay under the mountain and try and ride the coaster. Nobody rides the train, though. It's a common concern for a lot of us. They don't ride the train. So now we're going to start working on some retaining walls and and dressing things up. And this is the first time where I start to see a final product, and it really makes me happy, and it drives me to continue. And I've been pushing real hard to get this done for you guys. And I hope you enjoy the final product. I know I am. I think it's just great. So with that being said, there's really not much else to say. It's going to be all kinds of little details like this for the remainder of the time lapse, and then I will meet you on the other side with some real time, where we'll go over a whole bunch of shops. So I'll see you in the real time portion. See you then. Alrighty, so here we are in our, well, my favorite part, the real-time portion, where we're going to look at a bunch, because we've got a bunch to get through. We're going to look at a bunch of the custom buildings made by awesome members of the BroNation community. Yay! I think I have 8 or 9 today. I have a ton! We're going to start on the right here with HERMANOS power, which I think is hilarious. HERMANOS, brother power, bro power. This is our little power plant. Someone wanted to make us a power plant. And so they went for it, and it runs on hopes, and it runs on dreams. And look, we have a little snowman sleeping. I didn't notice that until just today. It's been in the file for a few days, but I love it, and it's even better at night. We'll have to get a nighttime version of this. Let me shift to nighttime so you can see. That's when it really comes to life. Look at that! Oh! It's the hopes and dreams glowing. I just think it's spectacular. I really enjoy this one. It sits way on top of a hill, kind of off in the back, because it's a power plant, and it would probably be there. So let's go ahead and get it back to daytime, and we'll look at something else. We'll leave that keep going. We'll let that keep going. Love it. Wasn't sure about it at first. Wasn't sure if it would work, but yeah, totally does. This next one here is an apartment complex, a small little apartment complex by a member named Grapey. And simple, nice little building. It works real well amongst several of the other ones. Nice little detailing. You see the deal here. It's pretty much the same on all sides, just has this little door here. I actually like how simple it is. It was, I don't want to be, it's good for fill. It was a good, I needed something. Here, we'll plop this down. And it fits pretty much anything around it, which is always a good thing. So thank you so much, Grapey, for your contribution. Looks good. Next, I love this. This is one of our earlier ones. This is one of the first ones we got. The Bro radio station. I love this. Love this look a lot. Love the tower with all the decor on it. It's just such a fun idea to have a radio station. And the icing as icicles works quite well. Love this look of the Bro radio station. He even used my font. Look at that. That is my Art Deco font. So hey, how about that? But nice details on that sign. I think the sign is the best part of this. It feels right. It's kind of got that deco-y look to it. Dig it, dig it, dig it. The Bro radio station. Very nice job. Scooching on over, we have Ye Quilt Shop. Ye Olde Quilt Shop. Beautiful building. Love the little bit of interior here. Let's take a peek in here at the lamps. We got some lamps and oh, it looks like cloth. That's awesome. Managed to actually kind of make it look like quilts in there. I like that. That's really nice. The little rocking chair on the porch. This is actually a similar shape to the, similar idea to, but different style to my little cafe that I built on a live stream. So, loving Ye Olde Quilt Shop. Oh, I bet you these are supposed to be quilts. Oh, I get it. I get it. Yay, I'm smart. Oh, very nice job with the quilt shop. I love it. Looks very good. Let's scooch over. And the post office. Ooh. Custom roof. Look at that roof. That's a very well done roof. Love the pitch and the angle and the shape. That's so great. Very, very, very well done. This one has a bit of an interior as well. Like the color scheme quite a bit on this one as well. So if we zoom in here, I think we're going to see a whole bunch of packages. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, look at that. A whole bunch of packages in there. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. I'm impressed with how well you guys were all able to do with your interiors. It blows me away. I can't even do interiors regular scale, let alone this little scale here. So just another look at the beautiful post office. Even the fencing on top of the roof there works real well. Good snow too. That snow can be hard to work with sometimes. Appreciate it. So now these three here are all made by 3 individuals. But they just looked so good together. I couldn't help it. This one here, the Untitled Tavern, is made by Sergey, who's helped us out in No Name Landia a bit. He's a big presence on BroNation. He does some excellent work. He made it quite far in the BroNation Summer Brodown. So good times and good friends at O'Donnell's Tavern. Love the fact that there's another corner structure. Like, that's awesome. And I like the guy just hanging out there. Very good. Nice brick building. And it went so well with Charlie's chocolates. Get Charlie? Cheer up, Charlie. Little nod to Willy Wonka there, I'm going to assume. Love the bright red. Nice little decor. Perfect little window shop there. These two buildings, they work so well together. And then this third one here just kind of makes it all complete. This is Uakin's Uakin's pharmacy and drugstore. And I love the corner. I love that we have two corner buildings here. They work quite well. And one of the details he was most proud of, he was telling me, is this the baubles right here to kind of look like that symbol for prescriptions. I think that's really, really smart. If you didn't know that's what that was supposed to be, that is indeed what it is supposed to be. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oop. I love this view here when you get all three of them in a row. So yeah, you're going to see them. If you didn't already, you all three of them are currently in a row in one of the main plazas of the village, and I think it looks fantastic. Over here, we have the BroNation music shop, close to my heart. I believe these are SP Ridley's, that's SP Ridley's bass, I'm pretty sure. But he made amps. Look, we got amps in there, and the beautiful sign, Gibson outlet. Uh-oh, it says, oh, that's right, there was a typo. If you look, it says bass. BAS. I fixed the one that's in the village to say bass. He asked me to do that for him. So we have guitars, bass, drums, amps, keys, and other noisy things. The BroNation music shop. There's a lot of musicians on BroNation, so it's really cool to see a music shop, and I just love it. Oh, I never noticed how like the door is even. You've got these recessed. You got these recessed windows here. That's very not. That's very, very nice. Look at that. That's a nice little detail there. Wow. Very cool. Lovely, lovely, lovely. More custom roofs. Then we move on to the Good Place, Merchant and Diner, a fishmonger, and this is made by our good friend and bro, Mineral. Mineral made this for us, and it is several different buildings, because just look at all the little pieces and bits and bobs. I don't even know how he did this. He's a magician. He is an absolute wizard. He is so good at his thing. I'm totally jealous. And I can tell that some of these are grid pieces. He actually used more grid pieces than I originally thought. At least for the general shape, he just nested them in each other in such a way to make it this really handy footprint here. Wow, so good. I love the dual entrances here with the little table on the side, and the buoys and using these logs here to kind of give it that little bit of nautical vibe. It's so great. Look at the porthole up there. Look at that. Oh, that's so good. So good. Love it. Thank you so much, Mineral. That is excellent. And if I look, that might be all of them. Did we really go through all of them so fast? Yeah, I guess we did. Ha! I guess we're going to go through them a little quicker then. So just zooming out here, just another quick glance at what we got. You guys are incredible. And I've been sharing a lot of this on Twitter and been getting a lot of, oh, that looks great, that looks great. And it's all because of you guys. It's really all because of you. I know in the background, if you're sneaky, you can see in the background, it's all set up there for you. And we're getting close to the big reveal, so thanks so much for all your hard work, everyone. And thank you, even if you didn't contribute, thanks for watching and liking and subscribing and commenting. It means a lot to me, and I know the people that are a part of this project appreciate it as well, because we do all this for you guys. So thanks so much. Have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see all of you for the next episode of Snow Valley. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.